tell us about organic produce and how it's better than non-organic produce? Why should we eat it?
Non-organic produce is produced with pesticides, fertilizers, and a lot of chemicals to stop bugs from eating it. It just makes it look well. In reality, you're getting a product that's blown up. A lot of it is water.
Water. So, what about minerals?
Well, this is it. The earth that we look at today is different from 30, 40 years ago. Basically, from conventional farming, they've used so many pesticides over the years and fertilizers that it's actually destroyed the ground, because in the olden days what they did was for one season they would grow a plant, a certain say potatoes, and they'd grow it for say 2 seasons, and then they'd give the soil a break and they'd grow corn, and then say every 4th year they actually wouldn't grow anything on that land, which gives the ground time to recover. Whereas with the new commercial farming, they keep using the ground year after year after year. For the last 20, 30 years, they've been using this ground and just pumping it with artificial fertilizers and pesticides. And what it has done, it's stripped the ground of its natural minerals. Whereas the olden days, sometimes they let about maybe 1/5 of the old plant lie on the ground. If they were harvesting potatoes, they would leave the tops of the potatoes rot back into the ground. Whereas now, everything is taken out of the field. This has left us with ground that is lacking all the minerals and vitamins, and even there's been studies done on an orange, say, and an orange compared to an orange that was grown years ago has 4 times less vitamin C than an orange that's grown today.
4 times less vitamin C?
Yes, and studies, spinach that's grown, and the difference between an organic spinach and a conventionally grown spinach, the spinach would have 3 times the iron of a conventionally grown plant.
Wow. So like maybe you pay 20% more or something for a
you pay 20% more, but the difference is people don't realize over a 12-month period you actually absorb 2 kilos of chemicals through conventionally grown produce.
2 kilos.
Up to 2 kilos of chemicals, between chemicals, fertilizers, pesticides, and like we'll take for instance an apple. Yeah. A Cox apple can be sprayed up to 26 times before it's harvested.
26? Up
to 26 times. And that you can look on the Soil Association website, and they have the information on the site. Right. And it's really up to 26 times an apple can be sprayed.
And how do all these kilos of chemicals in our body, I mean, how does that affect our health, our energy, our hormones, our lives in general?
Well, the scientists have done studies, and the problem with these chemicals is that they lodge in the essential organs. The liver performs over 600 functions in the body. Right. It runs your whole system, and everything is cleansed through the liver. And these toxins have to be cleansed by the liver and puts it under strain. Plus, they know now that children even are affected by the amount of chemicals in our foods, in our processed foods, in the vegetables we grow, in tinned, or highly processed foods with lots of sugars and chemicals are affecting children's brains. And this is why they're becoming dyslexic. They have attention deficit disorder. And there's been studies done where they've put children back on a really simple diet and given them essential oils and B vitamins, and attention deficit disorder has just disappeared.
Really?
Yeah, very quickly.
Wow.
And that study was done, and it was actually up to 70% of the kids that had attention deficit disorder, they now know was caused by their diet. Wow. Overload on sugar. Children are taking so much sugar. A can of Coke can have up to 22 spoons of sugar.
Wow.
1 can of Coke.
Gee.
And there was a study done recently in the States where they got a glass of water and filled it with sugar. And there was an amazing amount of sugar had to be put into this glass before the kids would actually say that there was sugar in the glass of water. That's how much sugar they're taking in their food every day.
Wow. Well, thanks, Mark. That's been very informative.
That's great.
So,
anytime.